What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Panda here, and today I have a follow-up video to them announcing Pyros Fusion coming into the game, and this is with the game news post in their Discord releasing the Shard Summon calendar. So unfortunately, it does look like I was a little bit off on the numbers. I was informed that you'd be able to get two total like full sets of shards for Pyros, and it looks like you're not quite able to reach that mark. It looks like you're only able to get one full copy and 55 extra shards, which seems a little weird to me that that's all you'd be able to get. I'm unsure if this includes like top 1 rewards, which it might. It might not, in which case you will be able to get 2 full copies if you're able to podium in a couple of your events while also getting all of the rewards from these current events that are coming up over the next 2 weeks. But either way, I want to just dive right in and give you guys a sort of basic line of what you guys should be doing during these events. So, right off the bat, this event starts on Friday the 17th, which I'll go to pull this up. That is this Friday, so we have 3 days, well, technically 4, because we're filming this at the beginning of Tuesday, so technically 4 days before this starts. It'll start on the 17th, and right off the bat, we have 3 events and 3 Oracle's Trials. The first one is a Spiritual Altar. Second is a Brave Conquest. Third is the Duel of Champions. So, Spiritual Altar, guys, we already know what these are. It's actually not here anymore, and I can't see it in here. Oh, here it is. Yes, Spiritual Altar. So this is your summon event, guys. Okay, you're gonna summon. You're gonna try and get these rewards. Hopefully you have some stuff saved up, or you have some gems or diamonds you can use. Personally, I have been a bad person, and I summoned all my summons on the Falcha banner without getting Falcha because I am addicted to summoning. But hopefully you guys will be able to have enough summons to be able to pull and get the rewards of the Pyro Shards from this event. Then we have Brave Conquest. Brave Conquest is just doing dungeons, right? Do your gear raids, do your artifact material raids, etc. And the Duel of Champions is your arena. This is really easy. Remember, in arena, you do not have to win to get points. You just get half the points if you lose. So if you're in a very high bracket or it's very difficult for you to win, that's okay. Just do your battles anyways. Lose, you still get points. You'll be able to achieve this very easily. This should be one of the easiest events for you to do because again, it's very easily obtainable. All right, we'll go back to the Discord here. Then we drop down to the Oracle's Trials. We have Arrival of Heroes, Awakening of Heroes, and a Vault in the Sands. So these 3 events will be happening in Oracle's Trials. Again, I'm unsure what this looks like in terms of you know, if you're going to be able to get more shards for podiuming. I would kind of assume that you would. I would assume that the 65 and 60 is like the guaranteed shards that you can get, and the podium shards are going to be not included in that, in which case there's a good chance you'll be able to complete 2, even if you were to skip some of these events. So Arrival of Heroes, I believe Arrival of Heroes is also a summoning event, if I remember correctly. Is that true? Can I see that? Yeah, Arrival of Heroes is also a summoning event, right? So you'll be able to summon and get different rewards. So always good to have that. Hop into the Discord again. We have Awakening of Heroes. I believe that Awakening of Heroes is a not the summoning, the not Brave Conquest. It just went away. The leveling up champions, right? I believe that that's what that one is. And then Vault in the Sands, I believe, is Gear Raid 2. So you'll definitely want to do all that stuff. I do highly recommend that you don't do your summoning events right away because, like I said in the previous video, we do have the ancient summonings that are coming on the 18th. And that just happens right here. So there's a chance that you want to use your ancient summons and maybe you'll get lucky and you'll get a ton of points from that. And you won't have to use your blue shards or your yellow shards if you don't want to during this 2 times event that's coming up, which for some people you don't want to do 2 times anymore. You want to do 10 times to focus on certain heroes. So could be a potential strategy. Then we go into the 19th, and that's where we're going to get Tales of the Smith. So again, just level up your gear, save your gear and your gold for this event. And then we go into Forgotten Palace in the Oracle's Trials. And I believe Forgotten Palace is that Gear Raid 3? Maybe it's Gear Raid 3? I'm not sure, because this is Lost Legacy, and I can't see the other ones. I wish I had all the names of them. I don't know all the names of them, but you have Forgotten Palace, which I believe is Gear Raid 3. It might be the other way around. Vault in the Sands might be Gear Raid 3. Forgotten Palace might be Gear Raid 2. I'm not 100% positive. But either way, you'll have these two events that'll happen back to back, so you just want to make sure you do whatever that is. Again, whichever one it is. Then we go down into Brave Conquest. Brave Conquest is just a repeat of this previous one. Just do your, do your gear stuff. Not a problem. Corridor of Glory, this is the event version of the Awakening of Heroes, where you're going to want to level more champions, build up some more stuff. Then we have the Arrival of Heroes. This is for another summoning event, so you'll want to have some summons, which is why I said maybe wait on the first one, do your Ancients first, so that you can save as many of your blue and gold summons as possible for the next summon event, if you need to get these shards, right? Then we have a Tales of the Smith and a Mystery of Artifacts. So this is your AMR down here. Tales of the Smith, again, just want to get that gold, level up those gear pieces. You should have lots of it because you've been doing the other pieces, or the other dungeons, which is really, really good. And then we go into Lost Legacy, which is the Gear Raid 1, currently going on right now. We'll have it again on the 29th. And then we go into a Duel of Champions again, so you'll want to make sure you do all your arenas, and then Awakening of Heroes again, followed by another Spiritual Altar. So, overall, these are all the events that are happening. I know some of that was very repetitive because they kind of repeat the same events over and over again, right? Because that's kind of the cycle of how things go, which is why in several of my videos I've talked about trying to farm the things when the events are active, because you're just going to get bonus rewards for something you would have to farm anyways. So definitely focus on trying to do all of these things, get them as high as you can to make the energy cost a little bit less, because again, which again, I believe that they are not included, the podium rewards are not included in the total of 125 shards, and if that is the case, then you will be able to get quite a few more shards if you're able to podium. In order to get a full 2 copies of Pyros, which is what I believe should be most people's goal, you are going to need 150 shards, which means you will need to get an additional 25 shards from podiuming, and if I remember correctly, it's like 10, 8, and 5. So that means you'll need to get first place in 2 and third place in a third without missing any of the other free rewards, or a combination of several different things throughout. So we've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total Oracle's Trials. So theoretically, you could try to just place third in all 8 of them, and that would give you 24. So you would actually need to get second in at least one of them, or you could try to place for first or second. Odds are you're probably best off placing in either Awakening of Heroes with leveling and 6-starring a bunch of champions, or placing in one of these lower level dungeons down here on the bottom. Now, I'm not 100% sure about this, but I have reason to believe that the tournaments are based on a couple of different things. I think the first thing it's based on is your bracket. So I believe that there's a bracket system in place where if you are at a certain gear raid level, you won't be paired with people in the next bracket. So for example, up to like 1 to 13, right? If you're on 13, you won't be placed with people between like 14 and 18. And then if you're on 18, you won't be placed with people that are 19 to 21. I've noticed a lot of people tell me that when they progress to a higher gear raid after an event has started, that they're able to smoke the competition. So what I would recommend is, if you think you're close to being able to push to a 19 or a 15 or a 16, if you're able to progress, make sure to wait till after your event starts, because there's a good chance that you'll be able to get that podium reward a lot easier, because you're going to have better drops from your runs. Again, I'm not 100% sure that that's how it works, but I have heard a lot of anecdotal evidence that that may be the case. If any of the devs are watching, or any of our, test server and or Forerunner people happen to have that information, please reach out to me and let me know. I would love to have that information so I could make it official, whether that is the case or not. But ultimately, guys, your goal should be at minimum 75 shards to get a single copy of Pyros, and if you can, 150 to get 2. Getting him to A1 is nothing crazy, but getting him to A3 is where he gets a pretty large jump in his ability to do the things he does. I myself personally will be aiming for 2 copies of Pyros and then using 2 soul stones on him to take him straight to A3, which will progress my account in a very, very ridiculous manner. But guys, that is going to be it for me today. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are going for 1 or 2 copies of Pyros, and what's your plan to do that? I'm kind of curious. I think I'm going to basically just go for all the free rewards and then try to get first place in 2 tournaments and at least 3rd place in the 3rd tournament. But if I see the opportunity to get first place in other tournaments, I will do so, because then I will be able to skip some of the events, such as the summoning event, because as I just said before, I'm bad and I used all my summons, and I don't think I'm going to get my content creator rewards in time, so we shall see what happens. But guys, that's it for me today. Please make sure to like the video if you liked it, and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see more content like this in the future, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.